Welcome to the Nora Enrichment Garden. Before we start the tour, I have some thank yous to hand out. First of all, I want to thank Jill Kropa for handing me my first grant application and telling me to go for it after I showed her my grand plans. She didn't laugh, and I went on to write 3 more grants. Speaking of grants, I want to thank our grantors, the Advancement Center for Washington Township Schools, for granting us $4,475. The Indianapolis Thriving School Challenge for granting us $4,477. I want to thank Crit Hunter, Phyllis Taylor, and Jennifer Swan for their personal donations. Altogether, I raised almost $10,000 for this garden. Now, some other thank yous. And if I forget you, I promise, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. I want to thank Laura Prank from the CEC for her patience and guidance through this project. I want to thank Ben Harvey and Candy King for hopping on board from the start and the countless hours we spent out here together in the heat, hauling mulch, putting up teepees. You guys, thank you. I want to thank Russell Frank and his A-team for all of the work they did to make this possible for the kids. I want to thank the Indianapolis firefighters from Station 14 for coming out to help. Thank you to Ben Wirtz and his volunteers from Full Circle Initiative for helping out. Thank you to the Nora PTO and to Terry Yacht's Garden Club for supporting this project. I want to thank my personal cheerleader, Tatiana Rebel from Thriving School Challenge, for listening, holding my hand, and keeping my spirits up throughout this project. I want to thank my family, especially my grandchildren, for coming out here and helping their Grammy. And lastly, my muscle, my shoulder to cry on, my rock, my heart, my husband, Steve King. Thank you, honey. This project couldn't have happened without all of you. Thank you from my whole heart. Okay, let's get the tour started. We're starting the tour here with the compost bins. We moved them, stained them, put some gravel underneath them, and rejuvenated them because they are getting a lot of use. The kids put their compost in there from lunch waste, and then the materials are used in the garden beds. The garden beds this summer had some major renovations. We had to repair and stain. And thankfully, the Nora PTO came in and planted some squash and pumpkins and some zinnias to help maintain these beds. The sidewalk in the enrichment garden serves 2 purposes. It gives access to differently abled children and children who aren't used to being outside. It gives them a place to acclimate. You'll see throughout the garden there's bug houses and bird houses. Thank you to Birds Unlimited for their donation. We'll come to the 3 wheelchair beds. I call them wheelchair beds because they're U-shaped so that if a child with a wheelchair can easily access these beds. These beds have the 5 senses represented. They have sight, taste, smell, sound, and touch. This area is the wetland area. We planted wetland plants because it's very marshy here. The rocks represent a riverbed. And our beautiful structure holds the rain chains to mitigate the rain. It leads us to the sensory walk. The sensory walk is a place where children can take off their shoes and walk on different surfaces. I want to thank Home Depot and Haybigs for helping me choose the right materials for this project. It leads to the pollinator garden, where you can see we have 2 observation teepees. We planted over 200 native Indiana plants in this area. We got them from Indiana Wildlife Fund. Aaron Stump heads off that program. So, the bug house. The beautiful sky through the teepees. You sit here and imagine reading a book or observing nature. We'll continue walking down the sensory path. There's the other teepee. Beautiful wildflowers. It leads us to the woody area. In the woody area, we have large logs for the children to sit on, to explore. Thank you to Matt Ramey for bringing those out. They were huge. We're going to walk over here. We got 2 workbenches. Thank you, Indie Eco Art, for building to my specifications. I wanted different sizes because the children are all different sizes. Endless possibilities, right? So great. I can't wait to see what the teachers at Nora think of to use this space. And the community, of course. I just want to send out a thank you again to everybody for this project. Thank you. Love you. Bye.